but let's talk about the Diddy trial. So,
yes,
so many celebrities continue to be name dropped during this explosive testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Whitney Houston's been named, Mike Myers, Mariah Carey, a few A-list stars who came up during the testimony during the third week of Diddy's sex trafficking and racketeering trial.
Katt Williams has suggested that several high-profile celebrities could be facing serious consequences due to their ties to Diddy. This has sparked questions about why the music industry's most powerful couple, Jay-Z and Beyoncé, are now making such an effort to distance themselves from him. One possible reason? Diddy is rumored to be preparing to expose damaging information about both of them.
Will Diddy start snitching?
He better. But the only thing I'm interested in him talking about is everything he knows about Kathy Coriana White. See, I know you know what happened to Corey. Diddy, I know that. You and Jay-Z down in Vegas in Tao with Claudia. Why don't you just talk about Kathy? That might help. That might help a lot.
We'll dive deeper into the Kathy White case later in the video. But for now, we've been sifting through court filings, lawsuits, and police reports to uncover what Diddy's next move might be. Will he try to protect himself by pointing fingers at other celebrities? Or is he prepared to face the full weight of the accusations alone? Let's break it down, because this case has entangled some of the biggest names in entertainment, from chart-topping rappers and Hollywood elites to Super Bowl performers. Could Diddy's trial be the turning point that shakes the entire industry? One thing's certain, Jay-Z and Beyoncé are distancing themselves.
You've said it on several occasions yourself, Mrs. Carter. He taught you how to be a woman. He taught you how to be everything you are. Your beautiful husband. I don't even know how people kept straight faces when she was accepting that award and said, my beautiful husband.
I'd like to thank my beautiful husband. My beautiful 3 children who are at home watching.
Beautiful where? In his pockets? In his pockets? Because you can look at this Joe Camel looking, you gonna call that beautiful? It ain't his spirit, because it's nasty. It ain't his soul, because it's dark. He only cares about himself. He's selfish. And he's proving it right now. With all that's going on with Diddy. You go a whole year without making a comment. You don't say nothing. You totally go ghost, and then you wait until you are finally called out. And right before the avalanche comes, now all of a sudden, that's not your friend? What about your friends? Are they gonna let you down? Are they gonna be around? Yeah.
Jay-Z and Diddy go way back. When Jay was still an up-and-coming rapper from Brooklyn, he was close friends with the notorious B.I.G., the same Biggie who was signed by Diddy in the early 90s. Over the years, Jay and Diddy collaborated on several tracks, including Young, G's, and I Know What Girls Like. Both men came from humble beginnings, but rose to build billion-dollar empires across music, fashion, and business. They were often seen together in public, and since Jay-Z and Beyoncé were always side by side, it wasn't unusual to see Diddy in her circle too. In fact, Beyoncé and Diddy even worked on music together. She attended his parties, sat courtside at games with him, and showed up for his 50th birthday bash. Rapper DaBaby once shared that the first time he met Beyoncé and Jay-Z was actually at an exclusive Diddy party in LA, with only about 15 guests in attendance. From the outside, it looked like a tight-knit circle of music royalty. But when you dig deeper, things start to look strange. Many people now believe that Jay-Z and Beyoncé are intentionally distancing themselves. And some even suspect they might be setting Diddy up. What makes this even more intriguing is that Jay-Z has a history of cutting ties with people once they're no longer useful. Or worse, allegedly sabotaging them.
Wright told us that Diddy was being set up by Jay-Z. And this is the one thing I never forget, because she said, how do you guys not see the lineup? Jay-Z has lined up person after person over the years to stay #1, and he's not doing shit different than all of these other people like Diddy and R. Kelly. The first person she named in this lineup was D. Haven, and D. Haven and Jay-Z were childhood best friends. And D. Haven has spoke out against Jay-Z for years, saying that he believed that Jay-Z set him up with the feds to get arrested. Jaguar Wright also listed Big L, and Big L is who gave Jay-Z his start in the hip-hop industry, and then Big L was randomly murdered. And then Jaguar Wright talked about Jay-Z setting up Dame Dash and everything that he did to him during the Rockefeller days, and even said that Jay-Z took his love Aaliyah, and I mean by living her. Jaguar Wright explained that the only reason that Jay-Z treated Dame Dash this way is because he was so mad at the fact that Dame Dash got Aaliyah and that Aaliyah didn't want to be with him. And the crazy part is Dame Dash even confirmed this and talked about it.
The most fucked up shit was Aaliyah dying. That was the most fucked up shit. And all the shit I had to deal with that. You'd be surprised how people act when they think you're hurt. That's when they really start trying to make moves on you. But
that's when they try to make moves on you? That's terrible.
You remember that when that time I was beefing in Def Jam and shit? Like when I was, they got that tape of me flipping on Kevin Lyles, and
right.
They made that meeting to do some shit behind my back. So that's when they go. And you know, business is ruthless like that. Life is ruthless like that. Jay was trying to get at her as well, and I didn't know. And then she, like, it got brought up, and I was like, both of y'all. But it never worked out for them, and we were both like trying to get at her. I like kind of eased up, but then we ran into each other. It's a long story.
Was he bitter?
Obviously. Yeah, he felt the way.
The true reason of Rockefeller's breakup.
But that's, everybody knows that shit. One of our last texts before she went there, because she couldn't text from there, and it was the BlackBerry at the time, was I don't like the plane. And I literally was like, don't get on it. I literally was like, don't get on it.
In addition to this, there are also rumors that Jay-Z actually tried to get rid of Aaliyah because it would benefit Beyonce's career.
All of this, that Jay-Z is the one that set this up to happen because of his jealousy, to move his friends out the way, and to also help boost Beyonce's career at the time. And one part of what Jaguar Wright says gives me the chills is when Mary J. Blige was literally talking about Aaliyah's death, and she said that it was a... And the way she explained it as Mary J. Blige being Diddy's girl, and the woman that she was talking to being Free from 106th and Park, who allegedly had an affair with Jay-Z.
The memory of Aaliyah. Yeah, this is my tool. You know, we put, the flowers today, everybody lived in this. I don't even know what to say. I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual murder. Whether people know it or not. Because God don't see people. You know what I'm saying? Whether people know it or not. And I could go deep, but a lot of people I would have to really bring. You know what I'm saying? But what I learned. And she just was cut down in the prime of her life. And it's so unfair. And it wasn't time. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, I believe it wasn't her time to go, because from what I know, it ain't supposed to go down like that. And just simple obedience, like, your gut always warns you. Just that your gut never lies.
Then she explained how Jay-Z set up R. Kelly because he really wasn't doing anything different than what R. Kelly was doing. Jaguar Wright said that she believed that Jay-Z was the one that was behind making Surviving R. Kelly, because his best friend, Dream Hampton, is the one that produced and made Surviving R. Kelly. As you can see, Dream Hampton is an American filmmaker, producer, and writer, and her work includes the 2019 Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly, and she also co-wrote Jay-Z's 2010 memoir, Decoded. And Dame Dash said one of the reasons why he hated Jay-Z so much is the fact that he continued to work with R. Kelly after knowing everything that R. Kelly did to Aaliyah. He went on to do the Best of Both Worlds tour with R. Kelly after this, and this also caused more of the Dame Dash and Jay-Z feud that we saw. And it was super weird because at the time, Jay-Z and R. Kelly made a song called Guilty Until Proven Innocent. He explains that Jay-Z is basically moving all of these people out of the way to stay number one, and she said you have to see it because he is no different than all of these other people like Diddy and R. Kelly. This is why Jaguar Wright thinks that Jay-Z is the one that set up Diddy, and that's why so many people are coming out against Diddy after so many.
Then, in December 2024, the situation escalated even further. A lawsuit surfaced accusing both Diddy and Jay-Z of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards.
Jay-Z's been accused of raping a 13-year-old girl back in 2000, allegedly along with Sean Diddy Combs. Our US correspondent Martha Kellner has more details.
This civil suit was originally filed back in October against Sean Combs, better known as PDiddy. It has now been amended to also include allegations against Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter. In this civil suit, a woman says that when she was a 13-year-old girl back in the year 2000, that she attended an after party for the MTV Video Music Awards, during which she says she was raped by Jay-Z and P. Diddy. She says that Jay-Z removed her clothes, pinned her down and her while P. Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity watched on. She says she was then raped by P. Diddy as Jay-Z and this female celebrity watched on once again. Jay-Z has dismissed in a lengthy statement these claims as idiotic. He's also attacked the character and legitimacy of the lawyer who has brought these claims. In his statement, Jay-Z directly addresses that lawyer. He says, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit." The wife, which he refers to, is of course Beyonce, whom he's been married to since 2008 and been in a relationship for much longer than that. As for P. Diddy, he's currently in prison in New York awaiting criminal charges for sex trafficking and racketeering. He faces more than 24 civil law.
Both men denied the allegations. Jay-Z went even further, calling the claims idiotic and false, and accusing the lawyer who filed the suit of attempting to blackmail him. But, in a surprising turn of events, just a few months later, in February 2025, the woman who had made the accusations withdrew her lawsuit. She admitted there were inaccuracies in her story and stated that Jay-Z had not harmed her. She also claimed her lawyer pressured her into filing the suit. The lawyer denied those claims, but by then, the damage was already done. Jay-Z responded by filing his own lawsuit, alleging that the entire case was a calculated setup intended to destroy his reputation. He revealed that the fallout had gone far beyond his public image. His family had even received death threats. Still, many believe the full story.
Ms. Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter just donated $100,000 to the Busby alma mater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beyonce?
Yeah. Interesting. That Mrs. Knowles, because she's now dropped the Carter, and yeah, she's yeah.
What's going on?
It's just listed in Forbes, and now she's donating to her husband's arch enemy's alma mater in Houston, Texas, where all of those families can sort and know each other and country club together and go to Joel Osteen services from time to time. Yeah. Interesting. I think Jay-Z and Beyonce is about to give us War of the Roses 2.0.
Matthew Knowles has been auspiciously quiet. Wonder why? If anything goes down with the Carters, it goes down for the Knowles because they live off of what's generated from that marriage.
Definitely.
They're very quiet. Or maybe Tony Busby's just doing all the speaking for them to make sure that their daughter can break away, maintain some symbol of, oh my God, I didn't know he was a monster. I will survive. Books, tours, terrible remixes, new, footwear lines and all of this. And if Beyonce is trying to burn the Jigga Man before it her brain completely, this is going to be delicious. I think they're just as grubby for what they done to R. Kelly and then give Jay-Z a fluff ball interview. Where's Gail?
Where's Gail?
Why Gail ain't got no interview for the Carters? They're such good friends.
Hey.
Where's Gail? What, she's trying to keep the brain away from Oprah before she passed out on a Zippic again? I don't know. Where is this?
At the 2025 Grammy Awards, Jay-Z and Beyoncé's bodyguard appeared noticeably more alert and protective than usual. Some believe it was a response to the growing legal troubles, and possibly a sign of fear over what might still be coming. But things didn't stop there. Non-April 1st, 2025, no joke, another lawsuit was filed. This time, a man named Joseph Manzaro alleged that Diddy assaulted him at a party back in 2015. What made this lawsuit even more explosive was the list of other celebrities reportedly present at the event, including Jay-Z, Beyoncé, LeBron James, and even Emilio and Gloria Estefan.
Accuser claiming he was sexually assaulted, raped, and humiliated at a freak-off party in Miami, and that other big stars saw him in rough shape. TMZ is all over this story. Branson Quirk joining us live. Now, Branson, let me get this right. This new Diddy accuser is basically claiming he was sexually assaulted at the freak-off party, and he claims that other celebrities were there as well.
Yes, exactly. In this lawsuit, it's important to note that these names are not being sued, but they are named as witnesses inside this lawsuit, those names being Jay-Z, Beyonce, Gloria Estefan, as well as LeBron James. Just to paint you a little bit of a picture of this horrific lawsuit, a man by the name of Joseph Manzano, he claims that he had, in the beginning of this lawsuit, he claims that he woke up in a mansion, this is way back in April of 2015, in a mansion owned by Gloria and Emilio Estefan, and when he woke up not knowing how he got there, he was then led through a tunnel to Diddy's house, and we can confirm that Diddy, his home is nearby to Gloria and Emilio Estefan's home, and once he was through this tunnel, he eventually came across and claimed that LeBron James was walking by in a towel of sorts, saw him in rough shape, and said, someone's got to do something about this, and then continuing on through that, they ended up stripping his clothes. They put a demoralizing mask on him, a genitalia mask of sorts on his face to humiliate him. And then he claims that Beyonce and Jay-Z saw him in this mask, prompting Beyonce to then ask, why is there this man in front of me wearing this mask? And then claims that going forward, he doesn't remember too much more, and he said that he was drugged and everything. So just given all of these facts, I mean, there is an alibi. TMZ did do some research. Jay-Z was actually in New York City on April 1st, so that kind of combats this. And then going also to the claim that Jay-Z was there in general, and then the other people were there in general. It's just this lawsuit technically does sound like an April Fool's joke, but no, it is not. This is a real lawsuit filed by a real attorney, and this man claims that this did all happen.
Yeah, well, worth mentioning, Diddy is innocent until proven guilty. There's no proof that these celebrities were even at this party, and anyone can make up a false allegation against a celebrity or someone in the public eye to try and take them down, right?
No, you're absolutely right. And honestly, too, we did a little bit more research. And April 1st, LeBron James, he was in town playing in Miami the next day. So people are also pointing to that as a fact that he may have been there the night before. But there's just so many details here that when you look at this entire thing, it almost looks kind of like a screenplay was written throughout, comparing to the other lawsuits here, because it's so similar to the other lawsuits.
All right, thank you. And it's so easy to make a false.
Testified about being by Combs. Asked to describe the relationship between Combs and Ventura, Mia responded, "It was a cycle of highs and lows, unequal and equal, toxic, I'd say abusive, like it was abusive towards her." On vacation in Turks and Caicos, Mia recalled Cassie Ventura running and screaming into her hotel room. She was screaming for help and saying, "You gotta help me, he's gonna kill me." Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. His defense team says any sexual encounters were consensual. If convicted, Combs faces the possibility of life in prison.
That Sean Combs called her into the kitchen and forced his hand up her dress. And then later in Los Angeles at his house, she recalled sleeping in a bunk bed where she said Combs forbade anyone from locking doors. And she remembered waking up to the weight of him on her, and he forced himself inside her. It was quiet. Pin drop is a bit of a cliche, Eva, but that was the kind of attention that everyone was paying as she was describing these harrowing moments.
Mia also described Cassie Ventura as like a sister. She said she was around Cassie and Combs a lot. What did she say she saw?
Yeah, and in fact, she said that Sean Combs threatened to tell Cassie about these alleged so she would effectively lose her friends. That was the kind of environment that she was seemingly living in. But she was on vacation, she said, in Turks and Caicos when Cassie Ventura came screaming into her hotel room and saying she's got to help me. She remembered Cassie otherwise being chill and calm, and this, she recalled, was a terrified type scream. She remembered another time where the two of them had to escape from Sean Combs after something happened. They grabbed paddle boards and paddled out to sea to get away from him, leaving him ranting and raving and following them on the beach. But Eva, think of this entire scene. She says that as his personal assistant, she was made to sit in the bathroom with him while she's on the toilet, was made to be in his closet, where she said another sexual assault occurred when he forced himself in her mouth. And so she felt like he was the king.